All right, apparently we're live on YouTube, but usually takes a while to actually connect. So as I was just saying, general writing task 1 should not be overlooked. It is quite complex. Just waiting for it to connect here. Come on, come on, come on. While it's doing that, feel free to ask any questions you may have. Cool, nice to see some familiar faces in here. Come on, YouTube, connect me, connect me. Just says setting up your webinar for YouTube Live. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. Herman, thanks for your correspondence, by the way, Herman. What is common grammar that we can use to show off in task 1 generally? Okay, common grammar that you can use to show off. It's not necessarily about showing off. I don't think it's about showing off. I'm going to show you in this letter what I have done and what I believe is deserving of an IELTS 9. And it's not so much that I've used complex grammar or anything like that. I've just used pretty straightforward grammar, but I've just done it accurately. I've done it precisely. It's all about precision and accuracy. It's not... Yes, you have to write simple sentences and some complex sentences. That's fine. But really what you want to do is be accurate and be precise. What's the difference between accuracy and precision? Accuracy means that your grammar doesn't have any mistakes in it, like your verb tenses are correct and you put the S on the end of the noun if it's plural, all that sort of stuff. Precision is your ability to express yourself flexibly. Do you have the vocabulary and the grammar to express ideas flexibly? That's what that's all about. All right. Cool bananas. I'm live on YouTube. That's fine. So without further preamble, let's get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Jay. I am one of the expert teachers at e2language.com. I have taken the IELTS, but I have not taken IELTS General. Nevertheless, I know about what you need to do. And in this lesson, I'm going to show you a formula. In fact, it's a 6-step formula that you can apply to any of your IELTS General Writing Task 1 letters. In this one, we're going to look at the informal letter. So let's get started. So what's going to happen on test day? On test day, this is what is going to confront you. This is what you are going to see on your test paper. There's some superfluous information here, some information that's not particularly important. It just says spend 20 minutes, write 150 words. That's the rules. And then there's some information here. What we really want to look at, though, is this thing here, right smack bang in the middle. There's a scenario. It has sort of 2 parts, 2 important parts. This first part sets the background. And then you have 3 tasks to do, right? Let's just read this background statement. Let's imagine that you're taking the IELTS and you're sitting there on that seat with the grey lead pencil in your hand. It says, a friend who lives in another country has invited you to come and stay with him or her on your next holiday. You are too busy to accept the invitation. Write a letter to your friend, and in your letter, thank him for the invitation, explain why you cannot come, and ask him or her about other times to visit. Fine. So we immediately can identify that we're writing an informal letter. Simple. It says friend. So there's a little bit of vocabulary and grammar that will change because this is informal. But largely we're going to follow a very similar system or format to a semi-formal or a formal letter. Fine. So what's the basic crux? Okay, fine. Your friend has invited you to come overseas on your next holiday and visit them, but you're too busy. So you're just going to write back and thank them for the invitation, explain why you can't come, and then ask about other times to possibly visit. You've got to write 150 words and you've got to do this in about 20 minutes. We need to know what we're going to do. Cool. Let's have a look. So IELTS 9. This is what we want to aim for. We want to aim for an IELTS 9. Even if we don't quite get there, that doesn't matter. Let's aim for perfection. This, I believe, deserves an IELTS 9. Whether it would get an IELTS 9 is a different story, because the IELTS seem to be particularly strict on writing. I actually don't really know if it's possible to get an IELTS 9, but this letter that you're looking at has perfect grammar, excellent vocabulary, excellent structure, and it is on topic. It has done all of those things that we just looked at. Fine, I'm going to go into depth with this, but I'm going to show you a 6-step method so you can write one yourself. You'll notice that here in blue there are 6 little numbers. You can see here we've got number 1, we've got a greeting. Number 2, we have a reason for writing. Number 3, we have some more background information. Here we have specific details and more information. Here we have a request or a suggestion, and here we just have, we have 3 parts here. We have please let me know, a sign off, your friend, yours sincerely, yours faithfully, and your name, something like that. Let's look closely at what these are. Okay. There's quite a bit of this letter that you can memorize, which will help you. Of course you can't memorize the whole letter, and I don't want you to memorize the whole letter because you would get a very low score, because IELTS examiners know if you've memorized a whole letter. But there are certain parts of the letter that are always the same. When we write a letter in English, we just use these certain parts. I'm going to show you what they are, and I want you to memorize them. So the greeting, fine. We're going to memorize this, Dear Paul, and because it's an informal letter, we just use the first name of the recipient. We're going to memorize some sort of ending like, please let me know. You can memorize that, or I look forward to hearing from you, something like that. That's easily memorized. Sign off, your friend, or yours sincerely, or yours faithfully, one of those, that's fine. And of course, you should be able to memorize your name. So in fact, those 4 parts you can memorize. Fine. We've memorized this part of the letter. So what does that leave us? Well, it leaves us these 3 paragraphs here in the middle. We've got one here, and one here. This is what the letter is all about. This is what the letter is all about. So, but in fact, we can memorize some more, because you can actually, each of those paragraphs serves a particular function. And as such, we can memorize a particular phrase or even a sentence to start us writing, to get us going. And this phrase we can use in all of the letters because it serves the same function. Let's look at them. So as I said before, we're going to mention the reason for writing. So we're going to use this phrase here. I'm writing to, well, we need a verb. So I'm writing to explain. Or I'm writing to ask. Maybe you're asking somebody to marry you. Who knows? I'm writing to provide you with directions to my house. These are just verbs. This is interchangeable. That's the first phrase you should memorize. The second one is when you explain in detail in paragraph 2. Let me explain my situation in more detail. You can memorize that entire sentence. And we're going to write one later, and I want you to use this. And the final paragraph is where you request or you suggest. So if you're requesting, you will use this one. Could you, verb object, could you bring my wallet to the party? Could you let me borrow your car? Here we've got the verb, so bring or let or whatever. And here's the suggestion. Can I suggest that you buy a new shirt? Whatever it is, whatever your suggestion is. So you can memorize these phrases as well, and they serve as prompts to get you going, to jog your memory, to make you start writing, and you'll know you're on topic if you use them. So that's cool. We're going to use those in this lesson. So in fact, if we look at our IELTS 9 essay, you can see what is memorized. Dear Paul, I'm writing to, let me explain my situation in more detail. Could you please let me know, your friend Jay. Fine. I'm not going to look at that. So really you have 3 jobs in this letter. First job is to give a reason for writing and provide some background information. The second paragraph, you need to explain the situation in more detail. And the third paragraph, you request or suggest something. These are your 3 jobs. Give a reason for writing and provide some background information. If you do that, you're on the money. Explain the situation in more detail, and then request or suggest something. That's it. That's what you have to do. That's the purpose of this letter. Fine. Let's look at the greeting. This is dead simple. Dear Paul, how do I know what greeting to use? Well, the task prompt, the question prompt will actually tell you. It says, begin your letter as follows, dear. And because we're writing to a friend, we're just going to use their first name. Dear Paul, dear Anne, dear John, dear Simon, whatever it is. So you have 30 seconds, no, even less. You have 20 seconds to write your greeting, please. And just choose a name. Anybody's fine. Let me just check that chat to see that you guys are doing your homework. Dear Jay, Balaji is going to write to me. That's cool. Thanks. You can write a letter to me if you like. That'd be nice. Ruchi, dear Jay. Dear Nish. Nish is going to write to himself or herself. Julia is going to write to Maria. Mahabub's going to write to Mr. James. Just write James. Remember, this is your friend. This is informal. No need for any salutations like Mr. or Sir. Nothing. Just first name. Just on a first name basis. I will slow down there. I'm probably speaking a little bit fast. Thank you for that. Cool. So we've written our greeting. Whoops. You got to look at this. So the second thing we do is we give a reason for writing. Why are we writing this letter? I'm writing to, that's your reason for writing. Well, why are we writing? Let's look at this scenario. It says a friend who lives in another country has invited you to come and stay with him or her on your next holiday. You are too busy to accept the invitation. Write a letter to your friend. In your letter, thank him or her for the invitation. So in fact, what we're doing, what's the reason for writing? Well, we're actually turning down an invitation. We're saying, hey, thanks for the invitation, but I can't make it. Let's just make it simple though. In this one, my sentence says, this is mine. I'm writing to thank you for your invitation. This one is pretty common. You may want to copy it or you may want to write something similar. Don't get too creative. You can use a different verb there if you want, but please write your first sentence, which is a reason for writing. You have 1 minute. Cool. Let me have a look at that chat. Why are you writing? Mahbub, I am writing this letter to let you know about the invitation that you had sent for a stay on my next holiday. Fine, good. A little bit incorrect. I would say I'm writing to let you know that I cannot accept your invitation. That would be a nice way to do it. Nishant, I'm writing to appreciate that you have invited me in your home country. Okay, that's fine. Let's keep this sentence just short. I'm writing to appreciate. Not quite. What's another way to say this? I'm writing to show my appreciation. That's enough, full stop. I'm writing to show my appreciation. Or give my thanks. I'm writing to give my thanks. That's another way to do it. Ruchi, hope you have, no, let's just start with the reason. I'm delighted to see your invitation. Fine, that's enough. Let's keep this first sentence short. Balaji, I'm writing to thank you for inviting me to spend a holiday period with you, full stop. That's the ticket. Well done. Let's push on. Remember this sentence, keep it short. Just give a reason for writing. Now we give some background information, okay? So my sentence says, it's very kind of you, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it due to my very hectic work schedule. Where did I get this from? Well, you'll see in the background, let's read it again. A friend who lives in another country has invited you to come and stay with him or her on your next holiday. You are too busy to accept the invitation. So write a letter to your friend, blah, 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 blah. So we've already said thank you for the invitation. Now we give a little bit of background information. Well, we can't come, so I'm going to write this. I'm writing to thank you for your invitation. That's my reason. Now my background information. It's very kind of you, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it due to my very hectic work schedule. So spend 1 minute adding to your reason for writing. Give some background information why you are busy or why you cannot accept the invitation. You have 1 minute. And I should mention here, we don't want to go, no details, because in the next paragraph, we explain in detail. This one is just simply the broad reason why we can't come, and that is because we're too busy. Cool, let me check some of these sentences. Excellent, Herman. Unfortunately, comma, I won't be able to get there due to my deadline tasks in my job, or due to the deadlines, due to my job deadlines. Great, beautiful, well done. Okay, so Parmeet says, I'm writing this letter to thank you for your warm invitation. Beautiful, excellent. But unfortunately, I will be busy at that time because of my hectic job schedule. That's that's mine, but that's okay. That's good. I'm writing to thank you for your invitation. Because of my work schedule, I won't be able to make it. Fantastic. Ikpon, I'm just going to use Ikpon as that name. That's a long name. Mahabud, unfortunately, I cannot make it as I have a production release of a software that I'm working on. Excellent, very creative. Balaji, unfortunately, comma, I won't be available to enjoy my holidays with you because I have an important appointment with our family doctor regarding my mum's health issue. Now, that's probably a little bit too much detail. And what you've done there is in the next paragraph, you have to explain in detail. So now you've sort of put yourself in the corner because you're going to have to write a paragraph about your mum's health problems, which is possible, but it's better to keep this first part quite broad and open, because then in the next paragraph, you can write about anything. Or just to say that my job's very busy at the moment. Maybe it's not about that. Maybe it's about a specific topic. Maybe it's just simply easier to write about why our jobs are busy. Or if you're good at medical English, maybe that's a good idea and you can talk about your mum's health issues and get into some medical English. That's fine, actually. Julia, So thank you for your invitation. This idea is exciting, full stop. However, comma, my work commitment cannot make this possible, unfortunately. Well done. Nisha, thanks for your kind invitation, but due to my work commitments, or commitment, singular, plural, that's okay. I am not able to make it. Beautiful. Prasanna, this was sweet of you. However, I'm afraid I cannot accept your invitation as I am down with a lot of work. I have a lot of work would probably be a bit better. Good, well done. So we've written that first paragraph. Now we move on to explaining the situation in detail. Let's explain that situation in detail. So this is what I wrote. And you can see that what I mean about broad to specific. So all I did here was say, unfortunately, I won't be able to make it due to my very hectic work schedule. Okay, fine. Now I'm going to elaborate on this in this paragraph here, and I'm going to explain in detail what I mean. Let me explain my situation in more detail, and I want you guys to use this sentence because it's a good opening sentence to use. I've recently started a new job teaching English, and I've been working around the clock. I don't mean to complain. I've been enjoying it immensely. The school I'm working at is actually my old high school. It's really quite interesting teaching with people who used to be my teachers. Fine. So you have to be a little bit creative, and I drew upon my experience of being an English teacher, and in fact I did teach at my old high school where I was not the, well, good. I was good student. Let's just say I was a little bit naughty when I was a high school student. So it was very interesting going back and teaching at my high school with the other teachers who yeah, anyway, so I've used my experience there. So now what you can do is draw upon your experience and be creative. I want you to write about 3 good sentences here, possibly a short one and a couple of longer, more complex ones. Try to mix it up, but that's your job now. I want you to do that. So let's have a look. So explain in detail why you cannot come. So that was mine. Now I want you to explain in detail why you cannot join your friend overseas. I'm going to give you 3 minutes because I want 3 good sentences. And really you're focusing on this one here is the critical one. Minute and 30 seconds left. Explain in detail why you can't come and be creative. Use some nice language. I'm just going to check the chat. Dum, dum, dum. Fantastic. You guys are so fast. You've already written it. That took you 1 minute and 20 seconds, some of you. That's incredible. Really good. And The more time you save on writing task 1, by the way, the more time you can spend on writing task 2, which is worth a lot more. Fantastic. Let me read some of these. So Prasanna says, let me relate my situation in more detail. Fine, you can change it like that. We have recently taken up a new and exciting project, and I am the project lead. And as exciting as it sounds, I have many new responsibilities and challenges ahead of me. Beautiful. Herman, please allow me to describe my situation in more detail. I will have a technical deployment for my client's software update by next month. Herman, are you a software engineer by any chance? I'm very busy to prepare anything. I'm very busy preparing everything, including documentation, full stop. If you had invited me earlier, good. Okay. If you had invited me, past perfect is fine, actually, well done. If you had invited me earlier, I would have postponed my agreement with my client. Great. Okay, I can see why you wanted to know about showing off using good grammar. That's a beautiful sentence. Well done. Ruchi, let me explain my situation in more detail. Well, one good news is one piece of good news. One good thing is my company has got an opportunity to work on this important project, which in turn will benefit me in my future career prospects. Fantastic. Mahabub, let me explain my situation in detail. I'm currently working on a new website, on the development of a new website. This website is going live on the day that you have asked me to stay with you, and I will be too busy on that day. I'm really unfortunate. I'm really disappointed to deny your invitation for the aforementioned reason. Good. It's a little bit formal with aforementioned, but that's fine. Cool. I won't go and read the rest, but they look good. Well done. Let's get back to this. Okay. 5, request or suggest. We're going to write this paragraph here. Just to recap, I just want to recap because it's good to recap. Here we've got the greeting. Fine. That's easy, right? We saw that it was informal. We just write, Dear Paul. Here we've got the reason from writing. I'm writing to, and then we put any old verb in here. Thank you, offer you a job, whatever it is. And here we provide more background information, not specific, not too many details here, just broad background, because then we get into a detailed explanation here. And finally, what are we doing here? Well, it depends on the task that you have. This one says, ask him or her about other times to visit. So typically this paragraph is going to be either you request something, in which case you're asking about different times to visit, that's a request, or you're suggesting something. It might have said, tell your friend to come and visit you, and you could say, can I make a suggestion that you visit me, rather than request, suggest. They're pretty similar. Anyway, let's look at my example. It's going to be one of those two. So request or suggest. This is based on this last task here, and I've used this phrase, could you, because this is a request. Fine. Could you let me know of another time you'll be free? This is also a question, so we need a question mark. I would love to come to stay. I'm interested in seeing your new house and meeting your wife. I'll be free in the new year because of school holidays, and I'll also be free in winter. I'd certainly love to escape the cold to visit you then. Fine. What you'll notice, by the way, is a lot of contractions. I am, I will, I would. Here's another I will. Because this is an informal letter, we're okay to use contractions like this. That's fine. It's still relatively formal, but that's okay. You could say, can you? Could say, can you let me know? Or could you? Or you could even say, would you? But perhaps that's a little bit formal. Let's just stick with could you. So I want you to write a paragraph now where you request your friend to find out. You want to find out about other times to visit. And I also, again, want you to be a bit creative and write about 3 sentences here. Perhaps you might use the phrase, could you let me know? That's a good phrase. So with this one, we better write 4 sentences because I'm worried about word count. Let's push this one and write 4 good sentences. While you're doing that, I'm going to have a look at this chat. Right. Okay, so Bona Lizzie, you've gone off topic there. You've asked your friend to visit you, but if I look at that prompt, it says ask him about other times to visit him or her. So we're not inviting him to visit you. We're asking him about when's another good time that you could visit him. Okay, so make sure you're right on topic because the examiners will see that difference. Excellent. So Herman, I wonder if you're free during Christmas break. I'll take a long annual leave then. I'll take annual leave then from December to January next year. Therefore, how about if we both take a cruise trip to Thailand for several days? I believe it would be fantastic. Could you make it? Good. Has that gone off topic? Well, just be careful. Just make sure you stick to the prompt. I believe the prompt is asking about another time that you could visit your friend. Ruchi, could you let me know when you will be free? Post my project delivery, I'll be free. After my project delivery, I'll be free for 3 weeks when I can drop in at your place, full stop. We can plan something exciting at that time. Please do let me know if you're okay with the proposed time. I'm sure we will make the most out of it. Good. Well done, Ruchi. Nishant, can you please let me know, no comment necessary, if we can plan some other day to catch up with your family? Question mark. That starts with can. You need a question mark. It's a question. I'll bring my wife with me to your place and arrange a barbecue party at a nearby farm to your house. Very creative. Fine. Mahabub, can we meet another day? No comment necessary. When we both are available? Question mark. Good. I would love to come to stay with you and enjoy your mum's food. I'm eating food outside these days and I am desperate for home food, home cooked food. We can visit the scientific and research library near your home that I always wanted to visit for so long. Let me know your comfortable time. It's kind of a bit odd. Let me know your available times and we can align ourselves for a peaceful and great time. Okay, some interesting adjectives in there. That's good. Cool. Well done. So we've just written the request or the suggestion. The last thing that we write is the ending, the sign off in your name. This is dead simple. Please let me know. Another one, because you're writing to a friend, could be I hope, or no, not I hope to hear from you. You will. I look forward to hearing from you. This is a classic one. I look forward to hearing from you, and I think I found the reasons why my teachers would dislike me in high school, maybe because my handwriting is so terrible. I look forward to hearing from you, your friend, or yours truly, or warm best regards, best wishes, whatever you want to do, that's fine. You can do that one. So please write the ending sign off and your first name. And let me check that chat. Herman asks, can we use this sentence for all scenarios? I look forward to hearing from you. Yes, that's a good one. Well done. That actually can apply for formal, semi-formal, and informal. I look forward to hearing from you. That's fine. Great. I look forward to seeing you soon, says Budgie. Nishant says, let me know what you will decide about our next meeting. Ruchi says, I look forward to hearing from you. Prasanna asks, can we sign off with love, comma, Prasanna? Yes. Yep, that's fine. Ruchi says best wishes. Nishant says with love. Ruchi says with love. Mahabub says, I look forward to meeting you soon. By the way, talking about love, if you're on YouTube, please click like, leave a nice comment, and think about subscribing. That's a good way to spread the love. Cool. Looking good. That's easy. Nice. So that's how you sign off. So what does the full letter look like after you've written it? It looks like this. Dear Paul, I'm writing to thank you for your invitation. Then we provide some background information. So what have we done? Let's just quickly recap what we've done. We've written the greeting. That's fine. First name because it's informal. Then we've written the reason for writing and we've used this phrase. I'm writing to verb. I'm writing to ask if you want to come to my wedding. I'm writing to provide you with the details of my address, whatever. Then you give a little bit of background information based off that question prompt. It's very kind of you, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it due to my very hectic work schedule. So we've gone very broad here, very broad. And then what we do is we go into more detail. Here with number 4, we give detailed explanation, right? Detailed explanation. Then we request or we suggest, could you? Then we just sign off. This, by the way, I think mine was 153 words. You better check yours because they scan your document after you write it. So it has to be more than 150 words. Even if you wrote the most beautiful letter known to man, if it's 149 words, you will lose points. You may want to count individual words. It wouldn't take that long. Cool. Well done. We flew through that. That was great. Why would this receive an IELTS 9? Why would this letter receive an IELTS 9? Well, there are 4 things that the examiner looks for in your writing. First, that you wrote on topic, that you wrote about that question prompt and those 3 dot points, and you did not write about something else. And we saw that question prompt number, the bullet point 3 asked you to invite, no. What did it do? You had to ask your friend about other available times. You did not invite your friend to see you. Okay, so follow those bullet points exactly. Don't write off topic there. 2, use precise vocabulary, use accurate grammar. Number 3, use a logical structure. Number 4, let's look at them in detail. Write on topic. So, did we do this? Did we thank our friend for the invitation? Yes. I'm writing to thank you for the invitation. And then we added a little bit of this stuff here. Did we explain why you cannot come? Yes, in detail. Then did we request other times to visit your friend? Yes. Cool. So we've written on topic. Uh-oh, what's going to happen here? I'm going to lose my PPT. I knew it. Let me go back. We gave the reason for writing and the background information in the first paragraph. Then we explained in detail. Then we requested or suggested something. Fine. Did we use precise vocabulary? And I use this word precise precisely because it's easy to use big, fancy words, but are they precise? It's much better to use a simple, precise word than a complex, imprecise word, okay? Whatever you do, you just have to be precise. Let me show you what I mean about vocabulary. Vocabulary is not necessarily single words. Vocabulary can be something like this, very kind. So here we have an adverb, here we have an adjective. So this is like a combination. This is a nice adverb here, unfortunately. Here we've got a nice phrase, or again, an adverb adjective, very hectic. Work schedule, we've got a noun phrase. In more detail, that's a nice prepositional phrase. Working around the clock, that's just a cool phrase. What about this one? Really quite interesting. Oh, and here we've got another adverb, immensely. Would love to come to stay. I'd certainly love. So you can see that there's a variety of vocabulary in there. A lot of them, though, are phrases. We're not really that interested in just using single words. We're interested in using good collocations or word combinations that are natural sounding. That's what it's all about. Cool. So we've got the vocabulary. Fine. Whoops. I think I've missed something. Nope. Grammar. Grammar. Let's look at these verbs. Verbs are critical. They're in every sentence. We need to make sure they're right. First of all, we have a contraction. I am. I'm writing. Thank, simple present. It is a contraction, but also the simple present. I won't be. Ooh, we've got a negative simple present here. Explain, simple present, fine. I have started. Oh, what have we got here? We've got a present perfect verb. What about I've been working? Whoa, we've got a present perfect continuous verb. I do not mean to complain. We've got a negative, I won't keep writing, but we've got a negative simple present. I have been enjoying. Again, a present perfect continuous. I am working. Present continuous is used to. Let me know. That's an imperative. Would love to come to stay. That's a crazy one. I'm interested. We've got a passive one. We've got I'll also be free. We've got a future one here. We've got a modal verb. I would love, and let me know. So our letter is full of verbs. We've used probably mainly simple present, but we've also used some present perfect, a couple of future ones, present perfect continuous, but we haven't just used verbs to show off. We've used verbs to express an idea as clearly as possible, and we had to use that particular verb to express the idea. That's what it's all about. If you can do that, you're on the road to success. What about articles and nouns? Well, here we've got a noun, invitation, that's fine, situation, detail, singular nouns, job. So we've got an article here. I've started a new job, non-specific, new job. English with a capital E, cool. The clock, this is just a phrase. The school I'm working at is my old high school. So we're talking about a precise verb here, a specific one. So we use the. Teachers, plural, not teacher, teachers. People, plural. Holidays, plural. The new year, phrase here. And here we've got escape the cold. It's a phrase. In winter, no article here. And there you go. What else have we got? We've got adverbs and adjectives. For example, we've got the word kind. We've got an adverb, unfortunately. Hectic is a nice adjective. More is a pretty simple one. New is a simple one. Recently is pretty simple. Immensely is an interesting one. Old is a simple one, but that's fine. I'm expressing an idea. Another, free, new, free. I probably could have been a little bit more creative with my adjectives, to be honest. I could have thought a little bit more about synonyms. I've probably used new and old and free a little bit too many times. So I might look at that before I submit it and change those. I don't really need to, because all of the other vocabulary is great, so that's fine, but something you may want to think about. Prepositions, these are critical for success as well. I'm writing to thank you, fine. Kind of you, able to make it, fine. My situation, let me explain my situation in more detail. Around the clock, working at, teaching with people. Let me know of, because of. There are probably more. In winter, there you go, there's another one. In winter. So we've got our prepositions right. They're important. They're small, they're hard to detect, but they're important. What about sentence structures? Because if we want to achieve an IELTS 9, or at least get a high score, we can't just write simple sentences. And we also can't just write long, complex sentences. What we need to do is we need to have a variety. What am I trying to say here? We need to have both types. We need to have both types. So have a look at this. So this is what would be a simple sentence. Fine. This is a complex sentence. You'll see, because it's connected through this thing here, this little connecting device. It's very kind of you. Oh, we've got two, but unfortunately I won't be able to make it due to my very hectic work schedule. Here we've got a simple sentence. Here we've got a complex sentence. I've recently started a new job teaching English, and I've been working around the clock. So we've got subject, verb, object, subject, verb, object. Here we've got a simple sentence with a semicolon and another simple sentence following it. What about this one? A complex sentence. It's really been quite interesting teaching with people who used to be my teachers. So we've got a coordinating thing here. Yes, I won't go into much more detail with that. In short, what you need to do is have two types of sentences, some short ones, some long, complex ones. If you're unsure about long and complex, stick with short and simple. Better to be precise and accurate than to be inaccurate and imprecise, okay? All right, nearly there, nearly there, nearly there. What are we doing? So, last thing. Why would this letter get an IELTS 9? Because we've used a logical structure, and this is what you need to remember. If you want to get a high IELTS writing score, remember the greeting. I'm writing to, which is the reason for writing. The alarm is about to go off in my office. Give me 1 second to turn this off. Hold on. We've just avoided the alarm, so that's good. All right, what was I saying? Right. Yes, yes, yes. Right. Let me start again. Let me start again. So we've got the greeting here. Here, number 2, the reason for writing. 3, some background information from the background bit there. Nothing too specific, no details, just background. Then in number 4, we start to build our paragraph and we explain in detail the situation. And we use this phrase here. You can use that, copy that exactly, or you can change it slightly. For the reason we use this one, I'm writing to, and this is a verb. Next paragraph, the third paragraph, is the request or the suggestion. We might use could you or can you or would you. If we're going to suggest something, we'd say, can I make a suggestion, or can I suggest that, for example. And then we just simply have the sign off and your name, etc. down here. That's critical. You did not see a word of that because you were looking at me the whole time. I'm sorry, I'm going to edit this video so you can watch this again. Let me go through again. Greeting, reason for writing, background information, explain in detail, request or suggest, sign off. They are the 6 steps to success on this letter. That's the kind of logical flow that you need to create. That, my friends, is the end of that presentation. If you have any questions, please put it into the chat. Can you please share your screen? Yes. Mahabub, can we write shortened words like I'd, won't, etc.? Yes, because it's informal, you're writing to a friend, you can include, they're called contractions. Like instead of saying I am, I'm. Could have, could have. So you use the apostrophe. So that's fine. Herman, greeting, sign off, and our name. Does it count to the word count? Oh, I am unsure, Herman. Can you please find out and email me? I don't know. Does anybody know? Julia, Jay, could it be possible that sincerely is out of date and is used rarely in emails now? Okay, just between you and me, this letter that you're... First of all, who writes letters? It's 2017. We write emails. Also, who writes letters with a pencil? Lastly, who writes letters to bank managers? Yes, it's out of date. It's absolutely out of date, but unfortunately, that's the task that you have to do. So, any other questions? What about YouTube? What's happening on YouTube? Cool. Olga's happy there. Well done. No problem. Good. Faisal Sheikh is very happy with the way I teach. That's good. Thanks. Appreciate it. If you do like the way I teach and you like these things, please click like and leave a comment. Makes me feel good. I like reading nice comments. Bright Chinoso says, what if I don't want to use contractions? Would there be a penalty? Yes. Not much of a penalty, but this is informal writing, so you should use contractions. Cool. All right. What else have we got? I think that's all. Thanks very much. I appreciate you coming along. I hope that was helpful. If you need help, by the way, check out e2language.com, sign up, get some tutorials, get some feedback on your writing. We've got lots and lots of video lessons. We've got everything you need, not just writing, but also speaking and listening and reading and grammar and pronunciation, the whole shebang. So do check out the website. Thanks very much. I'll see you guys soon.